Here's a quick tip for you. If you're out on a shoot and you don't have a neutral density filter with you and you want to slow down your shutter speed, you basically want to slow down your shutter speed to get smooth, silky water, or you want some type of movement in the photo, and you don't have that neutral density filter to slow down the shutter speed for you. So here's an example. Here's a photo, aperture priority mode, matrix metering on the camera. This is what I got. And it kind of freezes the water, which doesn't look really good. So what I did is I overexposed the living daylights out of the photo because I didn't have my neutral density filter with me. So I overexposed the heck out of the photo. One of the things you can do to help, narrow your aperture, f16, f22, that'll give you a longer shutter speed. If that doesn't get your shutter speed slow enough, then you'll have to go in there and you'll have to go into manual mode and look at what it meters at, and go into manual mode and set your aperture and your shutter speed to those values, but then start increasing your shutter speed by a stop, and then by 2 stops, and by 3 stops, and by 4 stops. Give yourself some options. Do a few different ones because it's going to be hard to tell in camera which one's really going to work. But check this out. You can start to see the water movement that we get here. Okay, there's a ton of highlight clipping, and we can kind of finagle with that with the highlights, but even more so, take a look at my exposure. All right, look at how much leeway I get when I start adjusting my exposure. Right? I mean, that was where we started. I can go down almost 3 stops here, and I can start to bring back all that detail. Make a little bit of a blacks adjustment, a little bit of clarity, some vibrance, kind of throw a little vignette on the end here, which makes everything better. Okay, but take a look. That's before. You would never walk away from a photo shoot with this photo and say, I nailed it. I'm happy with this. I understand that. And I would, of course, much rather you do it the right way in camera. You get a lot more options that way. You can control your shutter speed better and the movement that you get. With this option, you're very, very limited. But in a pinch, I mean, take a look at the difference here. That's before, that's after. Again, before, after. So part of this hinges on shooting in RAW because you have so much detail. There's so many options for what you can do with your exposure changes, with your exposure inside of Camera Raw when you shoot in RAW, because there's just so much information that's inside of that photo. So next time you're out in a shoot, if you forget your ND filter, give this a try. It might be just enough to help save your photo.